So my name's Bruce Stevenson, and the other person there with today's dental consulting is Linda. She doesn't have a last name, not in their picture anyway. And then we've got three people from Patient Express, and we got some hard questions that we want some answers. Uh, so we're going to see Hemish we know the best, and we just met the other two guys here. So we asked such hard questions that we have to get three people to answer them all. So Linda and I are today's dental consulting. If you haven't seen that before, we just work with open dental offices or offices converting to open dental. And we met Hemish a number of years ago and really like what his service does. And so we are very comfortable recommending his service. We have no affiliation with PatientXpress, other than we're users also, kind of like Open Dental. We don't have any affiliation with Open Dental except as a user. So, okay, Hamish, are you all ready for your first question here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how would you say your workflow in PatientXpress, using PatientXpress? Let me back up a second for people that don't know what PatientXpress is. PatientXpress is an add-on service that works with Open Dental to make things easier and to automate tasks a lot more. So it just, that you can see Hamish's icon there, or logo, with a woman with all those hands, and that literally is what PatientXpress does with Open Dental. It truly is a force multiplier to make things more automated and a whole lot easier. Okay, so sorry I interrupted there and stepped on my own question, but how would you compare the workflow of PatientXpress to other ways of doing things, particularly when it comes to like new patient forms and so forth?
Thank you, Dr. Stevenson and Linda, for giving me this platform to talk about a little bit more about the PatientXpress. Coming back to your question about the workflow, so when we were using in my wife's practice long time back, all these forms and all these pieces, we have to log into a separate screen, into separate application, and then we have to import, sync, and all those things. So it was multiple step processes. We have to go back and forth, and it was error prone, clerical errors were happening, and it was time consuming. So what we did in PatientXpress is we embedded the forms flow inside the Open Dental. So if you want to send somebody a form, either it can go through the automated reminders for the confirmations, or you can go inside the Open Dental, right click on appointment and send them a form. And once patient is authenticated, because we use HIPAA compliant two-factor authentications, so once we have authenticated patients with their cell phone or email address, who they are, and then we can put the data directly inside the patient Open Dental, so that you don't have to log into any separate screen. You don't have to sync the data. Everything is inside Open Dental, the place where you have been spending most of your day. And that's where we are trying to enhance the experience with Open Dental.
Okay, so you are also, this is not one of the official questions, but just to clarify, you're a browser-based application, or at least for the patient-facing stuff is browser-based. So if a patient's going to fill out their forms, they can do it on a cell phone,
Yes.
any of the Android cell phone, an iPad, a desktop computer, a Mac,
Yes.
anything. It's not
Yes.
restricted in any way. And it's also the forms, the new patient forms I'm talking about now, or all patient forms, are not
Yes.
restricted as to when you can send them out. In other words, the patient doesn't have to be in the office, or the patient doesn't have to have an
Absolutely.
appointment today. Okay.
Absolutely. So during the COVID, the biggest thing was you wanted to limit the contact inside the office, and you wanted to have patients take care of the paperwork either in the parking lot or at their home. And we already had this solution already there. So it kind of helped us out to make the office more contactless. So as soon as patient walked in, they text that I'm here in the parking lot. Your staff can send them a text or email with the link. They can fill their COVID forms in the parking lot. Everything looks good. Then you can bring him in.
Okay, great. But they don't have to be in the parking lot. They can be
Absolutely.
in London.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the beauty about it.
Okay.
And another usage which we have seen over the period of the time when either the kids are coming to the office with their guardian, but the parents are in the office or traveling. So parents
Oh,
can sign the paperwork anywhere in the world sitting there and can be done real time inside the office. So kid is there with the guardian and you send a text to a parent to sign the procedures which are needed to be done and parents sign and you can start the work. So you
wow.
don't have to
Okay.
wait back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 10-year-old can drive themselves to the office and are good to go. Okay. Linda, you have a question?
I do. Okay, Hamish. So offices are reopening after the COVID shutdown. Okay. How can you help them reach out and reschedule these patients?
That's a
Great
really
question.
common question that we get from our clients, by the way, is, man, COVID's over, hopefully. How can we get these patients back in?
Perfect. That's a great question, and we have been very useful tool. Before even when offices were shutting down, they wanted to bulk email or text to their patients that they are shutting the office down. So they can select the date range or select the reports in our application, and that application would bulk send SMS or email to them. Same way we can now reverse, go back to the same dates, or you can create your own custom reports for those date range, and you can, with 3 clicks or 2 clicks, you can select the list and select the template and blast the messages. And of those templates, you can even have a link to self-book their appointment so that they can even self-schedule and come to the office.
And self-scheduling, which can happen 24/7, and that's a big advantage. That in every practice that we've seen that's using self-scheduling, particularly for recalls, it's been just an outstanding success. I mean, there's just no comparison. This totally changes the way to do recalls. Okay, I'll quit editorializing. Uh, okay, so you have a pop-up, what we refer to as a pop-up, and you call the smart patient ID. Other people have that too. Won't mention any names of the competition, but there's other people out there that have it. What makes yours different or unique?
Great question, Doc. So since we have embedded inside Open Dental, our workflow is very integrated with Open Dental. So what uniqueness feature which we got it is that when you click on this pop-up, it will open up the patient's profile for you. I believe nobody in the industry can take care of that right now. So you don't have to search the first name, last name of the patient inside the Open Dental anymore. We have done that part with the phone ring. And another thing which we have done is we have integrated the insurance verification service with the phone ring. So when somebody calls, patients themselves are able to verify whether they're active on insurance or not with the phone ring. That changes the conversation when somebody calls, when they're active versus inactive.
So just because they called the office and your smart patient ID pops up, when it's popping up, it's checking their eligibility.
Yes.
And so you know within real time, 10 seconds or whatever, whether or not this patient, maybe before you answer the phone, because I've noticed sometimes that you get the pop-up before the phone rings.
Yes.
So maybe before you even answer the phone, you say, hey, you're not eligible. Call back, go check with your HR department. Okay. I mean,
hey, it looks like your insurance expired, tells us inactive. Can you give us the new insurance information?
Because offices spend so much time chasing insurance information.
Yep.
Or doing work that the patient was not covered for. Then
yeah. Then you got some splaining to do, as Lucy would say.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bruce, question for you.
Yes.
While we're talking with Hamesh, so as we're looking at the entire dental arena from, case exemption to patient retention, this software, which I've been involved with for about 6 weeks now, is basically on cutting edge because it's giving us the reality of the pop-up that comes in real quick. So we're not fumbling around on the back office looking for charts, trying to dig into their charts. This is actually helping us maintain that patient retention. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that this thing pops up and you've got all this information summarized there is really, really nice. And if the other thing that people don't get sometimes initially when they just see the pop-up screen, excuse me, the Smart Patient ID screen, is that each one of those buttons will take you to that part of Open Dental. So if you've got somebody that's not real experienced using Open Dental, a new employee, or maybe somebody's got a temporary fill-in, this really helps them because all the information is not only summarized, but you want to add to the treatment plan, you want to schedule a recall, you want to look at other family members, you want to look at their balance, all that stuff is in the Smart Patient ID, the pop-up.
Right in front of you.
And then
right
all you do is click on one of those things that takes you to that area of Open Dental in order to make the changes within the software. So I mean, it's basically an add-on simplified interface for Open Dental. You don't have to remember to go to the different modules. If I'm trying to change something in the family module, I don't have to remember that. It just will, I click on the patient information or family information and it takes me there. I think that's incredibly powerful.
And
I want to give a little story. Sorry, go ahead, Linda.
I just want to add, after using it, it would be impossible to work taking this away from you. If you're used to this popping up on the screen, I mean, my gosh.
So,
I mean,
so you should.
You're blind then. You're absolutely blind. You cannot do your job as good as you could without PatientXpress. No, I mean.
So that's kind of a caveat there that offices need to be aware that the staff will become easily addicted to this. So it's sort of like the crack cocaine of dental software helpers.
And Himesh, can you, for the sake of this demo recording, can you share the screen where the smart color IDs looks like?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Good idea.
So let me open it up quickly. Coming back on my computer, I'm going to log in.
Hey, Bruce, just why he's bringing that up, and Linda, why you guys have been using this, the functionality is bar none exceptional. I've already witnessed that in when I've been in the industry. Would you guys say that it's saving hours a day just between your office manager, your hygienist, and everybody in the two-way texting with the patient because of that communication? And that's what the real, the real functionality is actually saving time and energy when it comes to patient retention and the ability to have this stuff right at your fingertips. As you said, Linda, I wouldn't know how to do my job. So
right. Well, it's like, okay, having worked in the industry without this, okay, you're trying to get a patient's name. Can you please spell that? Okay. And you're like, it's coming up on the screen if they're an existing patient. Even if they're not an existing patient, Hamish can go in like a magician and get that to pop up. So
that's a good point, because like my name is Cop and I spell it Kaupp, but everybody says C. I'm like, no.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So this functionality and that pop-up is just revolutionizing what we can see in the dental arena as functionality and in real time with the AI behind it. And Himesh has created that. I love it.
Yeah.
So I would agree with what you said about the time saving, but more importantly to me is it allows you to do things that you might not do otherwise and do those things really easily, things that enhance the practice. So for example, a patient calls up, we get this screen, you can go to other family members, excuse me, right in there with a click of the button, and now I can see those other family members up there. And I can go to the family member and schedule a recall appointment. Okay, or schedule a treatment appointment or whatever. You can't do that nearly as easily with just native Open Dental. As good as Open Dental is, this is a better interface, I think. And again, it just allows you to do more things in addition to more things and do them easier in addition to saving time.
And I just want to add that Hamish also adds the patient, if they have another appointment, it's right there in appointment. When a patient calls, most of the time they're asking, when's my next appointment? Mm-hmm. And you can see it right there. I mean, if you were in the family module, then you'd have to go all the way to the account module or the appointment module. I mean, it's
and you have to know where that information is in Open Dental.
And if you're new or you're from the back, the hygienist maybe answering the phone, even a hygienist can do it.
Be careful, Linda. I didn't say that. Okay.
So overall, like overall, the onboarding process of a new staff members becomes very easy with this PatientXpress because the learning curve is very small and it's it's right in front of them. Everything is, they can click and breeze through.
Absolutely. And that saves so much time because that new staff member is
Mhm.
always asking the other person at the front desk, which is
Exactly.
taking away from their job.
Right.
So it's just a bonus,
Right.
a double bonus.
And Linda, I'm going to go back to your point as well as, in this pre and post and during COVID, the actual, turnover from the office managers to the hygienist, whether it be coming back or not coming back, so on and so forth. This software makes it so intuitive that you can jump right in and go because it's all on this screen. And that's what I think the point is this software is very intuitive. It actually puts the things right at the front of your face. And you don't have to keep switching from module to module, whether you're in Eagle or Dentrix or Open, you're bopping around from different things. This is right there on the screen.
Right. The hygienist can see the treatment plan is a $580 treatment plan. They have an idea now what's going on. They can see the different family members. They can see the referrals. They can see their next appointment. They can see if they have coverage or not.
And anything that you can do to improve the handoff, which is what you're talking about there, between the front and the back, doesn't have to be the hygienist, it can be the chair side. That deadly handoff, because that kills a lot of case acceptance. Then doctors don't often see that because they're in the back. And did Mrs. Jones schedule for that? No, she was confused and I wasn't sure what the treatment was going to be, and whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, how much did that cost you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, then it's another schedule and it's another appointment and it's another chair, being
Yep.
booked up. So
once
if
the
you have
patient
information
leaves
right
the
at your hand,
office
it's just real time.
without an appointment, it is very difficult to get them reappointed. It's just like collecting money.
Or
Once
if
the
they
patient-
leave without paying their bill.
Yes. Once they walk out, it's very difficult to collect that money, or much more difficult. Okay.
Yes.
So
Anyway,
you always want to make sure that you schedule that next appointment and that you collect that patient portion. And with Hemish's program here, it will tell you right there, you know what to collect.
Yep.
so speaking of patients, you also have a way of tracking phone calls.
Yes.
So tell us about that. You're not recording the phone calls,
Nope.
okay? You're just tracking them.
Yes. So what we do is every call which comes to your office, we get the list of those calls. We map the phone numbers back to the patients in your open dental. This way it can help you find out who called, and it gives a quick snapshot. And also we integrate back inside the open dental to let you know what activity happened inside open dental. This way, because you as the owner of a practice or as the manager of a practice, you know who did what with that call. And we have provide the ability to document those calls. This way, if you want to go back in history and find out what happened during that call, so you have that notes written right inside those call logs to help you navigate through the information what happened during that call.
So you can see, did the staff make an appointment, for example? So a patient
What
calls
module
up.
they went into.
Yeah. Did the staff schedule that appointment, which is the single most
Yep.
important thing that staff needs to do when somebody calls the office.
Yep.
So, yeah. And you can see, is this happening or is this not happening?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can see which staff member picked up which call and what action they did behind the call.
Yeah. Well, that's really powerful. And again, because you're not recording the voices, you
Yes.
don't have to worry about HIPAA, or different states
Exactly.
have, say, you can't record unless both people know or one person knows or whatever.
Yes,
You eliminate all those problems.
that's true.
So Hemish, do we have to wait for a patient to call in order to see that smart patient window come up?
Nope. So if you can select the patient, it just works like a routing slip if you want to. So if you search a patient like Sarana here, I'm gonna select myself here, and I can click this patient info button. So it gives me a quick snapshot that I can speak Spanish and I'm inactive on insurance. I've got 12,400 worth of treatment plan sitting. Office made $6,005.07. As the family combined, individually 1,391 from me. The account balance is 1,177. So you can get a quick snapshot. I referred a bunch of other people to the office, like referrals here. So you can see these are 2 people I referred, and all the alerts, service notes, and anything which you want to track. So everything is in one place.
So I don't have to wait for the patient to call.
So just circle your mouse again around that place where you selected the patient. Up on the open, yeah, right there. Just kind of move your mouse around there so people can see where that is. Yeah, okay. So
you mean
PatientXpress, we didn't talk about this, but PatientXpress has these icons automatically in Open Dental. So just like any of the other icons, the official, if you will, Open Dental icons, they also have PatientXpress icons up there. So they're immediately accessible from any computer running Open Dental.
it's embedded in, which is the best
Yes.
part. It's
That's why the
part of
work-
Open Dental.
Exactly, and that's why when we said about the workflow initially, staying inside the Open Dental, we have kept the staff member focused in the Open Dental. This way they don't have to log in and learn the new screens. Everything is embedded inside Open Dental.
That
Guys,
is
I can
great.
tell you, Linda, just from talking on the phone and trying to get what I need to out of this, that modules that are inside Open right there doesn't feel like it's an other SaaS kind of software out there. It's already intuitive. It's integrated. They're not, and like you said, Hamesh, you're not trying to log in from 2 different modules and keep it going. This is intuitive. People don't know that this is on the backside. This is the best part about
And
this.
it's fast. It's quick. You're not waiting around for something to happen. The only thing that you wait for is when the patient calls up and they're verifying their own insurance for you in the background. That takes 5 to 10 seconds. Everything else is immediately on the screen because it's looking out real time to find those the patient eligibility. Okay, this isn't looking in some database that was updated 6 months ago. This is real time eligibility. So that's really powerful.
When I hear staff say they have to go to another screen to find something, okay, outside of Open Dental, they hate that.
Yeah.
They want to be right in Open Dental.
And even if they can find it, then they got to import it. They got to somehow record that information
Yes.
in Open Dental.
So let me show you another feature here. So if you are playing with the reporting features, maybe uncompleted treatment or any other report, doesn't matter. So when you have these reports here, so our reports are integrated with Open Dental. So if you click any row, it will take you to that patient's charts directly.
Oh,
So this way,
yeah.
you do not have to
Remember the
select
patient's name.
search side. You can just search. For example, I want to search in the charts module everything for each patient. So I'm working on this report. So I'm at my report now, and I just double click. I'm at each patient's chart, so I can research everything right then and there without going outside.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's really nice. A lot of the older Open Dental reports don't even do that.
Yep.
So, for instance, the AR report. Now they got some newer AR reports too, but the standard one you have to go. Oh, there, Mrs. Jones has got unbalanced, and I got to go look up Mrs. Jones separately. Yeah, that integration really makes another example of why it's easier. Okay, and the easier you can make something, the more likely people are going to do it.
Easier and automatic, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And very intuitive to what it's already there from Open Dental. So it looks like and feels like Open Dental.
Yep.
Absolutely. It helps you use Open Dental so much. I mean, without PatientXpress, you would have a lot harder time doing your job.
Correct.
and so what happens when you make a job harder, just the inverse of what I said, people don't tend to do it as well. Let's put it politely. Yes. I won't say they don't do it at all. But sometimes that happens. Okay. But the easier you can make it, the more likely people are going to do it. So another thing is that you can send out reminders and confirmations, appointment confirmations from within PatientXpress. Okay. Can you attach forms to those? So for instance, a medical history for a recall patient or lately the COVID survey, can that be automated?
Yes. So when you're sending those reminder messages or recall messages, you can embed the links for those forms, and it can send out to the patients automatically. So it's just as a variable you use inside the templates, and it can convert those variable into a unique link for each patient, and they can authenticate using their date of birth or their cell phone number or email address. So we make it HIPAA compliant, and they can finish the forms, and it will automatically come inside Open Dental.
So, so talking about like the medical history form, okay? If I filled out a medical history form already, I did one a year ago, okay, and now I'm coming back for a recall, and you attach this medical history form to my appointment reminder. So I just have to click on the link from my cell phone or whatever, and it will take me to the medical history form.
Yes.
Is that medical history form already have the information I filled out a year ago?
Yes.
Okay, so they
Yes.
don't have to go back and re-enter everything. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have to do the blank history form, medical history form again. They have pre-filled so they can see what they entered last time. So it brings them a reminder if they want to change it, they can change it again.
Okay. Yeah, so that makes it much easier for the patient. And having an easy patient experience is a big advantage because they're just like everybody else. The easier you make it, the more likely they're going to do it.
Because if they didn't fill it out, it's going to cost the office time, okay?
Yeah.
They're going to be behind. And that's what I hear all the time. The patient didn't fill out the forms, okay? So the hygienist is behind them because the patient didn't fill out the forms.
Yeah.
Right. And Himesh, when the patient fill up the medical history form, can you show us on the screen where it will show up automatically? Like we
Sure.
want to see how integrated is that.
So if
Yeah,
somebody
stop
fill out
stealing
the-
my questions.
All right. Sorry,
So-
I won't be doing it again.
Here, all the data comes directly inside the charts module of the patient. So you can see that this patient on 1/16/2020 filled up the blood pressure problem, and anytime when he came back again multiple times, all his service notes are being saved inside Open Dental. So you have a full trail of how many times he did the medical or dental forms.
And that's automatically put in there? I don't have to import? I don't have time to import, so that is awesome.
Yeah, and also, Himesh, can you show us the consent forms that the patient signed up?
Yes, so let's say go to all this consent forms comes inside the imaging section. So let's see if he have anything, for example, the HIPAA. I guess this is not there yet. No, they are not here. Let's select another patient.
But that's okay. But this is the area where when the patient fills up those forms, automatically comes here and synchronizes with Open Dental. It's readily available.
So it's
Yes.
doing two things. It's in the case, go back to the medical history for a minute. It
Okay.
imported the information in the medical history into the chart module in Open Dental. It also saved that form that the patient filled out as a PDF in images, all
So they can look at
automatically. Okay, and the
Yeah.
same with the patient registration. It's going to put that automatically in the family module, but also put it in images so I can go in and look at it.
Exactly. For compliance purposes, yes.
So if I'm the patient, once I hit submit, it's all finished for the office. As long
Yes.
as the patient, okay, so as long as the patient hits submit, there's nothing for that office manager to do.
Nope, it's all integrated
Except to
into
open
the-
up the account and to look at it and to read it.
Yes.
Okay,
They get the
good. I think they can
notifications.
do that.
Yes. And as soon as there's somebody finished forms, they get notifications, alerts out here that somebody has finished the forms, or they get the notification and email that somebody's finished the forms.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the email because you can see, particularly with the COVID, you can see, boom, this patient sent it, and so forth. I personally appreciate that.
Right.
That feature.
Back to the insurance here real quick. Don't you guys have a feature too that you can go in ahead of time and check the eligibility for all the patients?
So we have the bulk eligibility verification. So you can go to the appointment list. You can search the list of all appointments and hit this verify insurance. So it's going to scan all those appointments which are in the list and tag them if the person is active or not.
Okay, so if my
Now, I had to
schedule-
do that manually, but you also can do it automatically, right? So
Yes,
you're
so we
checking
can
ahead of
run
time.
this- Yes.
Okay.
So we can run as a schedule, and you can set up 7 days, 1 day on the day of service, the way you want to do it.
And so it's going to automatically, so look in there, it says everybody's coming in 2 days from now, let's say.
Mhm.
It's going to go out and automatically check their eligibility
Mhm.
and then put that information where in Open Dental? How am I going
Will
to
I
know
be able
that?
to know by looking at the appointment book if that patient was it was verified?
Can you repeat that again, please?
Will I be able to look at the schedule and see that you
Yes.
verified my patient just by looking at the schedule? Because I don't have time to go into the account.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna do it right now. Create an appointment for a patient. And I'm gonna, this can be automated, but I'm gonna do it manually.
Yeah.
Just do a
So
search.
while Himesh is doing that,
Call.
so this
And
appointment screen is going to have a color-coded information with verified and unverified with insurance. So that way it will give you a synopsis of how many patients insurance information got
So you
changed.
can change the appointment color. Is that the way you're doing that?
No, the tag. No,
The
the
tag.
tag.
Oh, be there. Okay. Oh, that's great. So I can just look there. Okay. Wow.
So
So you
read
can
says
see
that for
how-
verified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yep. Out of all the
I don't have
appointments,
to do
only that person is active, V for verified.
Okay,
Great.
now where else did you put the maximums anywhere?
So we don't put the data directly inside, but we give them options if you want to really find out. So you can see that person is active, MetLife remaining, and all those things. And if you want to import, you can click this I button and select the row which you want to import, and just click import button here.
Wow.
Okay.
That's really good. That's really good. Unbelievable.
I believe it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. No, that is awesome. That saves so much time. So much time. Yeah.
So Linda, you got a final question for him?
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Hamish, you use the word automatically and easier a lot. Okay. We're talking about Patient Express. You think
Uh-huh.
it's a good way to summarize the advantage of Patient Express?
Sure. So
Automatically and easier?
Sure. So by doing the automatic things, you can avoid the clerical errors, and the systems run in the self-running mode. So it's just staff members. I just need to help monitor, make sure everything is working fine. Just like we can automate the insurance verification. Before you come into the office, you scan and find out which patients are active, which are not active, and you can take actions on the people who are not active. Same thing with reminders, appointment reminders or recalls. We can send automatic messages based on appointments or the recall due date. We can automatically send the messages to the patients who are want to collect the payments if they're past due 90 days, 60 days, whatever you want to set it up. Patients who need to do the medical history form for their recall, we can automatically send them. So many things can be automated. You can get automated reports end of the day if you want to get. So we can even do the reporting automatically also.
So Betty's like a coworker of mine.
Mhm.
Well, you know, if we hired Betty, we wouldn't need you.
There's Betty. Okay. I like Betty. I get along with Betty. I don't
Yeah,
quarrel
you don't
with her at
fight
all.
with Betty.
Yeah, she's my BFF.
Yeah.
Hamesh, one question I have is explain how the two-way texting works. Is that only when you're on a call with the client, or is there a way to text offline?
You can text offline also. You can select, right click and send the message to the patient right from here, send text, or you can send it by selecting the toolbar here. Or if you want to bulk send, you can come back here and create your own custom list. And then if you want to send the message, you can select them all and you can blast the SMS. So this is the one which is being used right now to bring the patients back post-COVID. So if they have missed their appointment last year.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest and most robust features is just getting that client retention and activity back forward.
Yes. I mean, it's so much. I mean, think about the time that staff spends making phone calls to
Miling
patients.
and dialing.
I mean, yeah, we used to have to do it that way, and we used to have a horse and buggy too. But I mean, that's not the best way to do things anymore. And it's not just from the office's point of view, where it's terribly time consuming, but it's also from the patient's point of view. they're busy. They don't want to talk to you on the phone,
Yeah.
as nice as you
Right.
may be. Now there's exceptions to that. The little old lady, wants to tell you about her cat, or little old man, okay, like me. But let the Betty here do the work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask one more question to kind of wrap this. So, Himesh, if you want to tie back this reputation management and payments, okay, using your SMS option, okay,
Uh-huh.
define as the best flow that helps dental offices to get maximum productivity from this tool.
So if the best way to get the best reviews from your patient is to send them as soon as they leave the office so that they remember you, they have got the memories about you.
Mhm.
And if you have done the great work, they would right away give you the 5-star ratings on your Facebook, Yelp, and Google. So it can be done right click when you're closing the appointment or you're checking them out, just
Can
send
you-
them a message.
Can you share your screen? So now I see like sending a review or reputation, requesting for review, and the payment collections are integrated in PatientXpress,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, so it's just an extension of texting module.
Yeah.
So you send right click, send text, pick up the templates,
Yeah.
which template is for reviews, which template is for payments and all those things. And automatically it will read the data from patient's profile and send them the message if there be account balance or send them the reviews. And the beauty about our reviews is all these reviews which patients gives in the survey, it stays everything inside Open Dental, which I believe rarely any company is doing. So if you go to the com log here, and if somebody's done a review, all the review messages are
Oh.
saved inside
That's
the com.
really
Yeah.
nice. Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
patient reviews are really important, and if you can make
And
that
here in the
easier,
office.
I mean, that's what Google looks for.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you want to increase your page ranking, your web page ranking, get more patient reviews.
I have a question real quick here. So if I was on the line when the patient snuck out of the office, okay, the patient didn't pay their bill because they snuck out of the office, okay, you have a tool to help me do that. I can text the patient, you said?
Yes,
Yep.
yes, you can send the text to the patient with a link to collect the payment.
So they
they
can,
thought they
so
were
for,
being-
just like scheduling your own appointment, from the text that you send them, they can click on a link and make a payment.
Yes.
Make it
So-
easy for them so that they'll make that.
Yeah,
payment.
so you got
And the
paperless.
ledger would be updated automatically. The best part is when they make a payment, we can update your Open Dental because we are using two-factor authentication to identify who the patient is. So we've already find out who the person is and we can update the ledger.
So they paid their $50. They got as far as the car before Linda sent them the text with the link in it, and they say, okay, I'll click on this link. I can go in and make a payment with my credit card, and that payment is going to go automatically into Open Dental, into the ledger,
Yes.
and put that. So it not only goes to the credit card company, it also registers in Open Dental automatically.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
Linda likes to type things backwards sometimes. So instead of putting $50, she put $500 in Open Dental when they really only paid $50. So this won't happen.
Those
that way.
clerical
Again,
errors.
another way where
Yeah.
it prevents errors as well as making things easier.
Yes.
Or I can tell you what happens all the time in offices. They put through the credit card through the machine, okay, but the phone rang and they forgot to put it in Open Dental.
Yes.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's where we can eliminate
That
by
right
collecting.
there, oh my God. And if a patient made a payment and they know they made a payment on their credit card, and then you're sending them a bill or calling them, they're going to be so mad. So
Yes.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
So this is real time. Everything is synchronized with your ledger books. It's to updated to the minute the patient is interacting. So everything is like 100% accurate.
That is great. That is
Yeah.
great. So they can sneak out all they want. We'll catch them with thanks to PatientXpress and
Right.
Betty.
Yeah, we don't need Linda anymore. So,
Oh,
yeah. Well, there's been a lot of discussion on Dentaltown lately about, automating the office more, and can you eliminate staff? And I'm generally not in favor of eliminating staff, but I think you can use staff much more productively.
Exactly.
You've got somebody that's hassled at the front desk when the phone rings. They're not going to be nearly as welcoming as somebody who's not trying to do like Debbie. I'm sure Debbie would be welcoming, But you know, I mean, that's your typical front desk person is trying to do all these different things. Some of them much better than others, unfortunately. And now the phone rings with a new patient, and their objective is not to schedule the appointment, it's to get off the phone so I can get back to work. So again, that's, I think, a much better use of staff.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I think we can wrap this up unless anybody has
Yes.
any closing comments.
Thank you for creating this product
Yes,
out there. My
yes.
gosh.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
I not only do our clients like it, but we use it, like the hair club, the men's hair club.
Are you a member first?
Yeah. I mean, we use
Thank
this.
you, Dr. Stevenson. It was you who really made us to this point so far. So you have been guiding us to
Not
get
me.
to the steps.
Not
Yes,
me.
you-
We just try to exploit the things that you guys come up with, and suggest other people do it too. Okay.
And no
Thank
other
you, Linda, to you too.
does all what you do. I
Thank
mean,
you.
Yeah.
there you got to go get this one and this one. Why would I not get this if I'm done?
Okay. So one last
basically
thing.
5
If
Sure.
if somebody sees this video and says, "Oh yeah, this is the cat's pajamas here," can they try it for a month for free?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Don't take it away from
Okay,
that one.
but remember, it's like crack. Okay, it's very habit forming.
And let me ask you the other questions, common questions, like if can people try only one or two features if they don't want to use the full product, or what is the price for the full product? Two questions here.
So full price we sell for $300 a month, full package which you see out here. We can always do a la carte based on what features they want. The minimum price which we have kept in order to cover our cost is $89 per month. But with you can get one-off features for $89. But if you want to take full feature, which is the best value, for $300.
Okay, so if they schedule one more appointment because they're using PatientXpress rather than doing it some other way, you just paid for the whole month.
They have recovered the cost.
Yeah.
They have recovered the cost.
Yeah. And now you're going to schedule a lot more appointments than just one, too.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes.
we'll talk about a good return on investment.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I concur on that, Bruce, with the emergence of the DSOs. They're all looking at that RCM. And if we can recur the ROI back to them in less than a month, this is just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, less than a month.
No-brainer.
How about one day? No, seriously.
No, agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
yeah.
Guys, you guys continue. I have another meeting.
Okay.
I need to get
All right.
done.
And it's,
Thank you so much, all of you guys here, and we'll catch up again soon.
it's
Take
almost
care.
it's almost nap time, too. Okay.
Take
Well, then
care.
I'm going to go shopping because Betty's here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank all you
All right.
guys.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was
Bye.
great.
Bye.